Here we go. Because I didn't have my mic on. I have to get used to that crap. Good morning again. Grab your coffee. It's now 9 a.m. Whatever your choice of beverage is. This is O.G.Starwars. And there goes my other computer. All right. So share below with me, because the important question first thing in the morning is, what is your drink? What is your drink? What's your choice of beverage? Again, I'm drinking, I believe it's just straight Folgers with coconut vanilla cream. Hello, welcome. So go ahead and share your choice of beverage. That's the most important question here first and foremost in our coffee chat is, what are you drinking? And cheers to another day, creator, God, whoever you talk with, worship, or whatever. They blessed us with another day here, and we're here together. Straight coffee black. Hello. Hey, good morning. A monster green, huh? Hey, you got it. Hey, good way to wake up, huh? No judgment. Some people go straight to their first eye opener, beer or whatever. Some people go to coffee, tea, whatever gets you through that morning, right? I was up late last night on a live stream, just BSing around and having a good time with a few people. And, so I only had like 4 hours of sleep, and here I am. So indeed, coffee. A special mix of milk chocolate by my grandpa. Took me 8 years to get the mixture right. Oh, so your grandfather had a special blend. It's always good. Grandparents always do that. It's like they make this awesome food that you try to perfect the recipe, but there's something quite not going right with it, because it's just their own personal touch, their love, or whatever you want to put it, because they can give you the same recipe. And yeah, it's too early for whiskey. Yeah, some people will disagree with that. Some people go straight to that type of eye opener. And like I said, no judgment. It's just how people are. And as long as you are still responsible with your actions and stuff, no judgment, no. So I am take another sip and then wait a couple more minutes and we'll do the unboxing. I do have an unboxing. It is one of the Star Wars Black Series figurines or figures, action figures. And I'm so friggin' excited about it. I haven't revealed who it is, but it's Legends character. So it kind of like only gives you, a few options to guess. And I will not guess, or I will not share who it is, and until we reveal this unboxing. So I'm pretty excited. It feels like Christmas, and it's not even Christmas. And yeah. Okay. And so there's weird, not weird, but I guess you could say it's weird, but there's, J.J. Abrams has his news out about the Force and introducing new Force abilities. And so we'll go over that a little bit. And then maybe talk a little bit about Mandalorian, what you guys think about it. And we'll go from there. So it's going to be an hour. I have my art final today, so I got to finish preparing for that. And then I work tonight, 4 hours of sleep, so I'm going to need a lot of coffee or something, Let's see here. Let's read what's going on. You just don't get the same quality these days as back then. Yeah, I'm seeing that, I did post about Weird Al. I have XM radio on my truck, and he came on 90s on 9, and that just brought back a ton of memories just listening to him, and I haven't listened to him in a while, so I shared that. And we don't have the same quality. We don't have the 90s and 80s movies were friggin' awesome, and if we get those kind of movies today, it just blows up a whole world of that's not equality, or that's not gender specific, or you're not representing this group or that group. Just why can't we just enjoy a story just for the story? Who cares about that, diversity or whatever? Just enjoy the story. Just get involved in that story. It doesn't matter, if that character is a man or a female or lesbian or whatever. So that's my take on that. Hello. Yeah, the new force ability. Yeah, and so we're going to cover that a little bit. I don't like this lighting. Okay, so let me just swing around here a little bit. The sun is starting to shine this way on my window here. I need to get the curtain back up. I usually keep the curtains open sometimes when I paint during the day, and I take them down. So hello, Jeff. All right. So it's 9:05. So let's get with this unboxing. So whoever wanted to see this, where'd my knife go? I did open it up a little bit more. There it is. And but whoever wanted to see this when I announced it, you're not here. You're just gonna have to rewatch it. So basically, here's the box. I did just open it a little tiny bit just because I was excited. All right. Here we go. Here we go. All right. And it's like right next to the mic. So if I'm like having all kinds of crazy noise, I'm sorry. Look at that. Yes. Okay. Bring my chair back. It's a roll away, and I'm afraid I'm going to sit back on it and miss it, and it's going to roll away, and then I'm going to crash and fall on my ass. That would be quite a scene, right? Greetings. Hope you guys are all. So this is a Legends character. So before I go further, who do you think it is? So say your predictions. So I know there's Revan, there's Mara Jade, and there's Jaina Solo. Is there anybody else I didn't see? I know that one time when they were voting for a Legends character for a Black Series, Ben Skywalker was the one that was winning on the vote by the fans. And for some reason, they were saying that the fans cheated. And so they went ahead and went with Ben and went with the second choice, which is Jaina Solo. So we still got a great character, but I think it would have been awesome to have Ben Skywalker instead because that's Luke's son. All right, so we have a Mara Jade. Anybody else? Again, there's like 3 choices, I believe, to choose from. Anyone else before I move on? Okay. Probably not Tenno Call. That would be cool to have, right? Tenno Call, but yeah. Hey, Sith Lord. All right, let's do this. So, and I just love these things too. They're so therapeutic. Okay. Oh, it's packed in here pretty good. Almost revealed gender. This is a gender revealing as well. Anakin Solo. Do they have the Anakin Solo? I mean, I'm sure you can. I know you can get like Black figures readapted to Legends character because I've seen people do Jason Solo as well. So I know that, but I mean like the Black Series itself without the modifications for other characters. So Legends character, is it right? Now you're full of shit, Mar. I would take that. I wouldn't even purchase that. I wouldn't even not waste my money on that shit. No. That is loud. Okay. So far, this is what we have. So you guys ready? All right, and it has my address there. Damn it. And we have Jaina Solo in her stealth flight suit. Look at that. Oh my God. Look how gorgeous she is. Look at that. And there's a glare because of my light. Damn you. Damn you. Go this way a little bit. So we have Jaina Solo. So this is number 56. And, you know, now since the Luke Skywalker mishap with the name, and I will show that here pretty quick. I have him on deck right here with Wedge. I'm just looking at here. So it says Legends, obviously. So hopefully we can get more Legends. You know, we are having a billboard up in April about getting more Legends books, novelization, comics, or whatever, just having a parallel universe. I donated to the cause for that because I believe that, now Star Wars has never been a parallel universe, but now I am, because of the good stuff being set aside, because, and the source material set aside, um, I I would rather have a parallel universe because they tie in with the movies still really, really well, and continue with them, while the Disney fans who would love Star Wars and what they're doing through Disney has theirs, and everybody be happy. So I don't see any misspells, but this is Jaina Solo, daughter of Leia Organa and Han Solo. Jaina Solo is a Jedi student of Luke Skywalker. Like her father, she is also a crack pilot and skilled mechanic. Like her mother, she is a born leader. All right. And so also her master, the one that trained her too, was Mara Jade. So Mara Jade she was also a student of Mara Jade as well. So that's just another interesting take on that. So I know they don't put the whole biography on here, but I just thought I'd add that as well. Later on, she got into a relationship with Jagged Fell and married him at the end of Fate of the Jedi. Yeah. And from there, we get Legacy, and we have the Fell Empire, which is her descendants. And that would be, I would love to still get the Sword of the Jedi. And she was also, when she was knighted by Luke, through the Force, he envisioned and worded that she, and I wish I had the quote on me, but basically that she's the Sword of the Jedi. And so I could see her, being, the next person to step up as Grand Master. But in Legacy, she ends up, being the head of the Fell Empire with Jagged Fell. And again, I wish we could have had that expanded on, and maybe if we're successful with the billboard, and that's a little bit better, look at that, then we'll have that. So let me read the comments here. Yeah, I hope one day all the Star Wars fan can reconcile. You know what? And the thing is that I believe that Disney Lucasfilm is stirring the pot, because look at what JJ's saying now, and I believe they're stirring the pot, and then so fans are feeding into it, and that's what's causing the divide. So those devoted Star Wars, Disney Star Wars fans are feeding into it, and then so we are reacting from it as well. And it's just heartbreaking overall. I still haven't turned off these notifications. I would buy Ventress if they had it. Yeah, I would too. Any Legends ones that come out, I will get. I will support. And any original characters like Anakin and Vader and all them, from the PT and the OT, I will get. So this is interesting. So the only way to save Star Wars is the fandom, and the fandom is to sell the rights to Universal. That's interesting, and I would be curious on how that would be. But just bear with me. I'm kind of tired. But all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you Wedge, and then we'll go over the Luke Skywalker box. All right. So here's Wedge. So I went over there, and there's no misspelling on that. And so this is, it just says Wedge Antilles. And so just basically him in his flight suit. It doesn't have any specific one that he's tied to. So it's just basic Wedge. And what they have on here is Wedge Antilles, a talented young rebel pilot from Corellia. Wedge Antilles survived the attack on the first Death Star to become a respected veteran of Rogue Squadron. And they should have said here that he survived both attacks, and he is the only one to survive both attacks, defeating both Death Stars. And so I wish they would have done that for him. I wish they would have said both. Hi, the Sentinel. How you doing? I think the two different timeline idea is the only solution to save Star Wars. One timeline is Legends, the other one is Disney canon. Exactly, and that's what we're pushing for. And that's I hopefully we will get continued stories. We got Comic 108, and I will do a review on that soon. I can't wait. You know, one thing I regret is not collecting comics when I was younger. And so now I'm one of those that are trying to get comics to added to my collection, and it gets expensive or you just can't find some right now. And Disney truly has been blah. Yep. The Sentinel, I am doing great. I was just telling everybody here that I was up late on a live stream, just BSing around and having a good time last night. We got off about 2 or something, near 2 or 1 or whatever, and I'm only going on about 4 hours of sleep. You want legend lines of film? So or yeah, that would be great. You know, even on Disney Plus, if they would just go ahead and just make, you know, stories off of the books, legends on top of their own, I think that they would do pretty good. But then again, it scares the shit out of me. Yeah, I'm cussing because I'm tired. It scares the shit out of me to even think that they can do the characters right with seeing what they did with the original characters. What? Okay, Alex Felix. Let me share this real quick, and then I'll show you guys Luke, and then we'll go on with some news because I have some stuff to share. Was Luke even powerful in Return of the Jedi compared to the prequel Jedi OT? Was he still weaker than them? I think Luke still had a lot of training to go, and when you get into Legends post Return of the Jedi, you see him still training or still mastering the Force, rounding up potential Jedi candidates as well. You know, and he didn't discriminate on age, nor did he not discriminate on if they had families and kids and stuff like that. So it's a very compelling, great story. The New Jedi Order that he created, it really fell into the legacy of who he is and being what his father was supposed to be. That's how I see that. All right. Would Legends film be good being made by Disney? Like I said, that would scare the crap out of me. I don't think that they would do him justice because and I think that they probably wouldn't do it when it comes to Luke and Legends, because then that would make their Luke, and he makes that Luke, Disney Luke, look very, very mediocre, a cowardice. I mean, there's no comparison. Legends Luke is amazing. Does Ashoka die in George Lucas canon? He didn't want her to live. And during that transition of buyout, how Filoni made it look is that she perished, but there was no evidence of it because you see her walking away or something like that, or something happening. And so once the acquisition of Star Wars, then you know, Filoni brought her back in that stupid world between worlds or whatever it is, that little what do you call it? Where you can time travel kind of bullshit. There you go. Yeah, they ruin Legends with continuity errors. What'd you say? Okay. Where is it? They kind of ruined Legend with continuity errors in Marvel 108s. So Disney would ruin Legends too. I heard that it was successful, and I still, like I said, I still have to go ahead and do my homework and cross-reference with it. So I do have it, but I still have to do my homework and do my continuity research because that's what I love doing. That's what I'm a nerd about with Star Wars. All right. Let's see here. Let's see the set. Okay, let me see. Read here. The Sentinel, no direct adaptations of some of these properties. I don't never need to meet Waru. Yeah, that was a crazy story. I mean, there are some stories that, you know, and it's going to be with everybody because it's such a vast universe. It's 25 centuries or more of history going, you know, Old Republic, from the beginning of the Jedi all the way to Legacy, Luke and Leia's descendants. And yeah, so it's a vast, and so there are going to be stories that people resonate with more, and then there's going to be some that isn't. And however, the continuity is great. they try to keep it in line as much as they can. I still believe that Filoni screwed some shit up, but that's my opinion. All right. The EU was always a pick and choose canon for me, but if it was blessed by George, yeah. So there's that debate, and even before I opened my channel to Star Wars Legends, I would go in there and support a lot of channels. And when the acquisition came from Disney of Star Wars, and people started talking anti-EU or anti-Legends or original lore, I would get into a lot of debate with them, and they would throw out, "Oh, well, George said this and George said that." And I did a video about what George says. George may say one thing this time, and next time he says another that contradicts what he says. And then they're like, "Well, Leland, she's wrong, and George wanted this and that." And my argument with that is why would George's employees contradict him? He's the boss. So if Legends wasn't canon at the time and they say it was, then I'm pretty sure it was, because why would his own employees go against what he established for his franchise? And so that's my counter argument with that. Okay. Hi, Nerd Cookies. How you doing? I didn't see you come in. There's a lot of you guys coming in. Thank you so much. And again, if you have your coffee or your choice of beverage this morning, just share with us in the comments. All right. Okay, Nerd Cookies, I will check out yours. Do you think, given more time and not being in a rush to get those out, the sequel films by Disney would have been better? I think if they fell with how George did his when he gave us the PT and the OT, and he had time in between, I think if they took a little bit more time to develop, maybe the fans would be more excited. But looking with what they're going with and how they took the original lore and said, we're not using this anymore, we're going to coin it Legends. And now with Kennedy saying we didn't have source material, it's hard making these movies because we don't have source material, which is bullshit. They have plenty of it. I still think that we would still see a mess, but we would be seeing it going down very slowly, more slowly than we see it going on right now. Yeah, Callum. Yeah, he's a pretty cool dude. Yeah, there are some continuity errors, but more or less, I still believe it was a lot of Filoni's work when the Clone Wars came, and keeping history of a vast, or track of a history that's so vast in such a make believe world or galaxy or lore. They did their best, but however, it was really, really good how they tracked it and how they cross-referenced and how they if there was an error, it got retconned. And so overall, I think that the franchise was brilliant with that. Okay, Alex, and then we'll get on to the Luke one here pretty quick. I want to believe that Luke was powerful in the OT as a Jedi because Vader fought dudes like Starkiller to a draw. Yeah, and the thing is that we have the son of the Chosen One fighting the Chosen One, basically, and who was a quick learner. However, we did see his struggles and stuff, so that he's not a Mary Sue or Gary Stu or whatever you want to call that. So he was basically a quick learner, a quick study. I still have to pull it up, but it is said that that he created his own form of labor or saber duel and dueling techniques on top of like learning some of the classics quick through Obi-Wan's journal. And and Vader was very impressed with that, and that's why Vader wanted his son by his side. Coffee. Yes, coffee. Let me take a drink. Cheers to that. Cheers. All right. Hey, thank you, Mar. Tip the lady for some coffee and leave her a like. All right. I cheers to that too as well. Thank you guys. Yeah. So if you haven't had a chance, please, I like to say press that like button. All right. Hi, Rosetta. Hi, lady. How you doing? So I went and hung out with this lovely lady last night, and there's a bunch of us. There was like 5 of us or 6 of us at one time. We just had a hell of a good time, and and I didn't want to leave, but I know I have finals to do today. One of my final in class for my art class is today, and I get to present my art that I've been creating. And yeah, so we had such a great time. And I don't think the live stream is up. So I don't think you guys can review it now because, man, we were just like having some fun. I mean, there's some things I will not say, but yeah, it was a great time. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, he did get his hand. He did get served in The Empire Strikes Back, and his hand cut off. And that's what was great about his journey. He had the hero's journey. And there's so many, like I have a list of like everything I want to review. I mean, hell, I want to review everything and give you guys some lore here, but also to the off-center books, like we have like the companion reader companions and all that. So I'm going to do a review on this right here, and this is Star Wars Magic of Myth, and this is about the hero's journey for the OT with all 3 of the main characters. And so this is very compelling. So eventually I will get to this as well. And I never had Star Wars Essential Atlas of the Worlds. I've never had this, and I never thought about getting it. But now that we're getting new worlds like that moon Kif Burr or whatever the hell it's called for Endor, the gas giant, I'm researching because in Legends and even in with the world building with Endor moon was the only moon that was viable for life. And so now we have Kif Burr that's added as a moon of Endor that only has 9 moons. Yet we see, the Disney trilogy characters going there and having like a third of the Death Star that survived the implosion, which is not believable to me. And we see it basically blow up into basic stardust. And yes, there will be residual pieces left from that, but not as big as we see in the movies. So that's just takes you out of the belief of what happened in the OT. So this is and so I will, like touch up on worlds here. So this is pretty cool. So I'm doing my research on that moon and what they're doing with that. And but it has all the worlds that were created in the original lore, now Legends. On top of the the worlds that are basically still canon are now in Disney as well because of the movies. All right, so let's get to the Luke Skywalker box. Let me see if I can get this. I need to just put up curtains. All right. All right, so here he is. Here is our Luke Skywalker. This is the Yavin metal one here, and it's 100. Okay, so let's get down to the nitty gritty of the unprofessionalness of the creation of the box. And that's what I would say, because when you have your editors and everything, and when you have a company sending the information to the toy producer, you would think between everything from the original place and what it's sent over to the manufacturers, all of that spelling and all that would be, taken care of and already. So we have this right here. So there's one. We have this right here. There's 2. And then I don't know if you could see this, damn it. But there is the black lettering of this right here, Skywalker. So there's 3 misspells on the box. And, I don't like to, I'm not really a conspiracy theorist. Jeez, I need coffee. But, do you guys remember when that poster was revealed about Luke Skywalker at the headquarters where there's an X? He was X'd out. So I wonder, in a sense, because it seems to me that, they don't favor him because this is Luke was George's baby. And so part of me thinks that maybe this was purposefully done, or they just didn't give a shit. I don't know, because there's 3 errors on this box. What the hell? So I don't know. That's just my thought. Let's see here. Who was the lucky folks you streamed at Rosetta's stream with? So I was with Mary, Rosetta, what do you call it? Script Doctor, and Tom, and Orange Hat. Yes. So we had a grand time. It was amazing. We had a good time. I had fun. And I hope that we cheered up Rosetta and that she's doing okay today now. Let's see here. Hey, Fatal J, what's up? Hello. I will take you out. You are not taking my Clone Wars DVDs. Hell no. All right. So what do you guys think about that? The Luke Skywalker box. What do you think? Do you think that there's just no care taken for this particular character, considering that all the other boxes are okay? Do you think it was done on purpose? Do you think it's just a stupid error that they're just idiots? I mean, that's a no-brainer right there, right? So what do you guys think? I just think I just think spelling is below people. Yeah. What is this world coming to these days? I swear, it's just it's instead of like that, I see dead people. It's like I see idiots. You know, sometimes it's just crazy. All right, let's take a sip. Cheers. All right, let me get comfy here so we can get into some news and maybe some lore. Now, I didn't post any lore videos this last couple weeks. One, because it was Thanksgiving. Another, because I'm finishing up finals. I have finals. My last finals Monday. And then Monday, I am going on with author Stephens with the Fandom Menace. He's the one that did the book. So I'm doing an interview with him on stream, live stream Monday. And then Wednesday, I'll be on Shenanigans. So that should be fun. And so I look forward to that. And then Saturday, I will be with Abu Nas reviewing Revenge of the Sith. And so we'll do that review there and, you know, give to my best of my knowledge what about the lore and maybe referencing with Legends and all the tie-in books with it. It's going to be fun. We're going to give our opinion about that. Revenge of the Sith is one of my favorite movies. It's high up there. I'm one of those that likes Return of the Jedi. And I know Empire Strikes Back is the one that's like the majority or like a lot of people love because of the compelling story with that. And we see the drama with it and everything. But the reason why I like Return of the Jedi is because you really see Luke's advancement as in his character arc, in his hero's journey. He overcomes all his trials and stuff, and he's, you know, basically he's gone through both worlds in the hero's journey, and he comes out as the Jedi. He comes out as the sage, as the teacher, transformed. And so we see that ending part of his hero's journey, and it's very compelling. And I think it's badass when he goes to Jabba's hut and how he is and his advancement and all that. Yeah, and then with Vader, human Vader. So, I mean, I can go on and on, but we're not going to do that review today. Let me see what you guys have to say here. Do you think George Lucas's Episode 7 took place after Crucible and that the Yoda episode in Lost Mission Clone Wars was setting up the Episode 7? I believe that is what when you look at the history with the franchise during that time when it was George's franchise, when he was still at the head of it and before he sold it off, I believe like Leland Shee and all those who keep track of the history and stuff, that's where we would see a sequel trilogy happen, and it probably would still explore the Wills as he wanted. And when you read Crucible, you know, Luke thinks he finds Mortis, but he's not sure. And he also sends Jedi out to find the dagger or whatever that to get rid of Abeloth, to protect the galaxy. So he has Jedi on missions. He thinks he's found Mortis, but he's not sure. He's coming into retirement. He goes off on his own in the end. So he's setting up for the new generation to take hold. And that would be Jaina Solo, Ben Skywalker, and Jagged Fell, our three. If you notice with it, PT, you have your top three protagonists, your top three protagonists, and then that would set up them for that. And we would have the Sword of the Jedi, Jagged Fell, just like, Han and Leia, and then Ben Skywalker, just like his dad. So that would be compelling. And I think that it would have set up beautifully during that time, because again, you have your big three stepping down for the new big three. Let me see what more. You guys have some great comments here. Thank you so much. All right. They are so ashamed of what Disney did to Luke. They didn't misspell. They just renamed Luke to protect him. Oh, God. I don't know if they're so ashamed. Honestly, I don't know, because when you see that poster with his face crossed out and stuff, it's kind of telling, because why didn't the story group protect Luke? Why didn't they just keep his arc? It's like everything Legends did with these characters, they turned them on their heads and made them the opposite. So, we have Han and Leia. Han was madly in love and never really left Leia's side. Now in the New Jedi Order, when he lost Chewie, he had his mourning time, and that's reasonable and stuff, but he never fully left her side. Leia was still a badass diplomat. She was still training, but it was slowly, because she wanted to make sure that the New Republic, the government was set up, but she was still training, and eventually she became a Jedi. So, and then we have Luke Skywalker, and we all know what happened with that. So, and then, Ben Solo, Kylo is just a bad knockoff of Jason Solo. And it's just, I bite and touch. It's just awful. It's just, to me, there's nothing there for me, because they basically gutted everything out. Gutted. And then we have Kennedy saying, oh, we don't have any source material. Well, yeah. Personally, I like to like how in canon Luke trained for a year on Dagobah before fighting Vader. How do you feel about that? Okay, so when you look at Empire Strike Back and Return of the Jedi, they're just one standard year apart from each other. And so I wouldn't say he basically trained for a year, but he did have some time training, more than what we see on screen. And then he rushes off to save his friends. And so, yeah, they all took in within one standard year. And that's the talk in Star Wars, is one standard year. When they talk about standard time, and then depending on the world they might say one standard year towards Coruscant or whatever. So, I mean, some of you guys might know what I'm talking about. Okay, Star Wars 77. Yeah. So before it became A New Hope, it was just Star Wars. And yeah, that's the classic. That's what set everything up. And that's what got us all pulled in for that adventure. I just like Return of the Jedi because we see Luke from Star Wars or A New Hope. And then at the end, we see the end result. So it's like, to me, it's so rewarding. It's like seeing someone triumphantly overcome things and achieve their goals, I guess you could say. It would have been a multimedia project like Clone Wars. Are you talking about if George did the sequel trilogy? Can you expand on that a little bit, CJ? Excuse me. That was gross, right? Ugh. Telling you, I'm just like, all my sensibilities are out the door right now because I'm freaking tired. But hey, I'm here with you guys. All right. Okay, Alex Felix. I gotta say, the name, honestly, Darth Cadus is not as cool as Darth Vader. Yeah, I mean, Darth Vader is basically the classic. I mean, he is in movie and cinema. He's like one of the best villains there is, hands down. And Cadus, I like his character. I like Jason Solo. I like his arc, um, and his journey with it. But hands down, Vader, yes. Luke equal white male equal inherently evil, part of the patriarchy. Yeah, I think all this is nonsense. This, yeah, no. I just, let's see. Yes, ESB Return of Jedi is 1 year apart. ESB's trip to Cloud City is implied to at most a be a month again, or is it show in hand as they have been in space? Yeah, so I get what you're saying. So we know that on the Falcon the hyperdrive is down. So they have a long. They're not going to be able to hyperdrive. So that's why he was like, we need to find the closest system so we can get there and get repairs done. And so that really makes sense. Okay, Biden. I hate how they toss the gains made in Return of the Jedi into garbage so quickly. Damn you. In The Force Awakens. Yes, they did. So basically they're it's like they're rehashing and it is a soft reboot that's going on right now. And when you look into the explained universe, it looks like they're going to award or give, the Mary Sue the Chosen One title. So we have yet to find out. That's my fear and my gut instinct. And when I did never seen The Last Jedi. I just watched all the reviews. I watched Muller's reviews, which is quite hilarious if you guys haven't seen it yet. Um, but the reason why I didn't go see it is because I had that gut feeling that they were going to destroy Luke's character. And they did. And to me, I don't want to spend my money on that. It wasn't worth my time, so I just started picking up the Thrawn trilogy again, and reading it again, because that's where everything's epic. That's where, everything is more coherent and fluid with each other. There's compelling stories. We still see Luke struggling. Yeah, they wanted him to still struggle, I guess, but they made him struggle to where he was a coward, that everything we seen again in the Return of the Jedi went out, was washed away in Octu. Oh, you meant like whoops, where'd it go? Here we go. Sorry. Here we go. I meant episode 7 was a multimedia project for George's vision. Yeah, and when they say that George had treatments for it, treatments are vague stories. Like when he came out with Star Wars, Luke was Luke's Star Killer, and also I think at one time Luke was supposed to be female, and then we had Han who was supposed to be a green alien. So basically, story treatments are just vague outlines of a story. And so by time we get to if he would have done the sequel trilogy, we would still see the characters that were established in the expanded universe. And this is what I believe, to keep continuity, because why get rid of all those hundreds of books, just and make them invalid, when they kept up continuity and everything tied in so unique with each other in the movies as well with each other. And so we would see, and even George said that, the next story is about Luke and Leia's kids. So he was aware of Anakin Solo, Jaina, and Jason, and Ben Skywalker. He was aware of them. And so that's why he says Luke's kids and Leia's kids. For Luke, Leia, Han, the galaxy, all the good things they attain just gone. Yeah, and I agree. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm trying to keep this in an hour. Like I said, I have crap to do. Like, I have to adult. I'd rather sit here and talk with you guys all day on Star Wars, but that's not my reality. So, hey, Matt's in here. I didn't see him. Hey. What EU character do I connect with the most? That's a good one. I think it might be Luke. He's been my all-time favorite since the beginning. Legends. I like Corran Horn. I like him because we see Jedi being established and they have all these abilities and they train and they get strong. And then we see Corran Horn, who inherently from his Halcyon family line can't do telekinesis, but they do have other force abilities other people don't have. So I like that. Awesome. Right on. So, Matt, when are we going to get together and have a chat? When are you going to have me on? I'm going to have to find a way to shoot you my email or something so we can arrange that. I feel like Kate Skywalker is the second most powerful Skywalker. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get to the news, or we're just going to briefly get to this news about the Force and what JJ says and how kind of ridiculous it sounds. But yeah, Skade. Let's take some coffee, Laura, okay? Cade Skywalker. What's so unique about him is that he's the rogue Skywalker. He doesn't, he suffers so much loss that he kind of turns his back on his legacy a little bit. But when you look at it, he's achieved what what Anakin wanted, was the ability to save loved ones from dying. And so I think that's very compelling. Yeah, so if you share what Matt had asked me, who are your favorite characters both in the movies and in Legends? So who do you resonate with the most? When your voice comes back, I'm so sorry. It's all the videos that you have to do, all the damn videos that you're doing that you committed to. You're amazing. I look up to you. You're pretty cool. You're a cool guy and got so much knowledge. I just want to sit and just chat with you and just nerd out with you on Star Wars. Okay. All right. So let me see here. I'm still learning how to go between screens and stuff. So bear with me. And then I'm running on like 4 hours of sleep. So if I jump out by accident, I'm so sorry. All right. So first off, let me see here. Where is it? Okay. All right. Let me go ahead and add a screen here. First off, this is ties in with that article where JJ or Abrams says about the Force. So we're going to look at this here. The Force is a perception of reality that exists around us. You have to come to learn it. It's not something you just get. It's not what, Disney's trilogy is doing. It's not, it takes many, many years. Anyone who studied it, worked hard, could learn it, but you would have to do it. So I think that's very, very compelling. That's a quote from George Lucas. And so basically, again, everything that was, put out there with Legends and stuff like that, and even some of the movie stuff has been turned on its head by Disney. And, in a sense, that's why I stay with Legends, because it's so coherent and such a beautiful storytelling within all the stories. So let's go ahead and look at, I think I have it here. Okay, is this it? Making sure. Yeah, the Rise of Skywalker will introduce new Force powers. So in this article, what JJ says is that basically new Force powers, and that when he also stated that Force projection that Luke Skywalker did in The Last Jedi is, sorry about that, is something new, and it's not. However, in Legends, no one's ever died from it. Okay. So maybe that's why they say it's new. I don't know. Okay. Let me see. Whoops, wrong one. All right. Let's read through this really quick and we can get with the comments and everything. As I learned in The Last Jedi, every word of that is wrong with Rise of Skywalker director. Did I read that? Every word that is wrong. Yeah, I read it right. Okay. With The Rise of Skywalker director J.J. Abrams said the movie will push that even further. That didn't make sense to me. How come? Am I sleepy? Showing Star Wars fans that invisible cosmic power of the Force is capable of granting abilities far beyond mind tricks and lightsaber duels. Yes, and we've seen that in Legends. We've seen that vastly expanded in Legends. So that's nothing new. The Rise of Skywalker will reveal previously known Force powers, of course. What we've seen in the movies, basically. It was really important that we not just redo the things you've seen, but add new elements, which we know will infuriate some people and thrill others. Well, basically, what I get from that is that they're going to still pull from Legends and they're going to turn it on its head to fit what they want to do with their characters. That's how I see it because we've already seen it. They did the Force projection, they turned it on its head and killed Luke through it. That doesn't mean the December 20th film will detach classic maneuvers. Among those things are not just new ways of doing sort of traditional must-have sequences whenever it's chases or lightsaber battles or what have you. Okay. That's what J.J. Abrams said. We want to make sure that this picture also shows aspects of the Force in ways that go beyond what you've seen before. Yeah, so basically what he's saying is that they'll probably pull from Legends because we haven't seen it on the screen and they're going to coin it new. That's how I see it. So, and you can, I think I seen a video or a picture or something where it shows that, Rian Johnson picked out the Force projection in the Jedi book there. I can't think of the title name. I'm sorry. I'm tired. The Last Jedi, almost all of Luke Skywalker's lessons to Rey, lessons, there was nothing he did for her. Basically, she just showed off her skills and said goodbye and, basically knocked him down. Were about ways to connect with the Force and use it in ways that weren't strictly about fighting. Yeah, again, we see that in Legends. They say that Jedi don't ignite their lightsabers, unless they absolutely need to. The visual connection between Rey and Kylo Ren, nicknamed Force Skype by fans. So basically, that's almost like a telekinesis thing where you can kind of like sense each other's emotions, like we see in Empire Strikes Back with Luke, and then how we see in Force Bonds in Legends. But now it's a little bit more extreme, and now it's, people are making fun of it because, again, they turn that on its head and call it Force Skype. Was one example of a new power? Again, no. It's just changed up a little bit. So if that's changing it, makes it new, then maybe, yeah. Well, Luke's manifestation of himself across the reaches of the space was another, although it appeared to be so exhausting that it ended his life. And so, yes, that's where they turned it on its head. So I'm just going to leave it here. So basically, let me get rid of this screen. So basically, how I see this is that they're going to pull from Legends because they always do. So why did they really toss it aside when they're still using it? And I believe it's just to fit their narrative and to reinvent it in a sense. So we're going to see stuff that familiar to Legends, and we're going to still see this almighty, powerful Rey with really no explanation of how she got this. And yeah, there are supposed to be training, scenes in that, but that's now unbelievable, because all this time, all three of these movies, the last one, we actually going to see her train, even though she already showed that she could do a mind trick without training. All that, it's unbelievable. It takes you just right out of the experience. All right, so what do you guys have to say about that? Blackish, like the TV show. I love Kip Duran. I heard Ryan Kennel connects with Porgs from the. Let me see. Let me see if I'm reading this. I love Kip. I love Kip Duran. Dutant? Or you meant Duran? I heard Ryan Kennel connects with Porgs from The Last Jedi and Waru from the Crystal Star. Where's Ryan? He needs to respond to this. I want to hear his response. Holy crap. All right. Genesis. Hey, Genesis. All they've been doing is pulling from Legends to defend their trilogy. Yeah, and like I said, again, they said there's no source materials. And when I was down in San Diego with my family, I did a little bit of like Star Wars journey, and went and found the Black Series. And Matt, this is my newest. Look at this, Miss Jaina in her stealth suit. So, like I said, I went on my little journey of just exploring Star Wars and seeing what they have out there in the bookstores and all this other stuff. I always like to see what's going on with Legends and how outselling in bookstores, and talking to clerks and interviewing people as I did. Basically, Legends basically is what everybody's asking for. Not Disney stuff, but Legends. And so I think we're doing a pretty good job, and even Disney's helping, mind you. We're doing a pretty good job on bringing people back to Legends or the original EU and introducing it to new people. So, they're just little steps, but those little steps move you forward, move us forward. Yes. And I was telling them about the time when they were deciding which of Legends or original or EU character to put out there in Black Series, and Ben Skywalker is one of them that was voted the most popular, and they went ahead and said that people were cheating or whatever, and so that resulted in Jaina Solo, which is another great character. But I would have loved to have gotten Ben Skywalker. Disney canon flops. That's a touchy one. Because overall, we're all Star Wars fan in our own way, and now that we're looking at two parallels now, or parallel universe basically. I have never gotten mad at someone for loving Disney, as long as you don't go and bash the original lore and George and stuff like that. I encountered someone that used to be an avid EU supporter, original EU supporter, and now have changed their mind and is defending Disney hands down with what they're doing. And that's fine. But on top of that, this person is bashing the original lore. So basically took the 180 and now bashing the lore. And that doesn't sit well with me, because that just creates more divide. And if you love all Disney Star Wars, that's great. I would love to hear about it. If you are like stuck on the fence and you love both and you're trying to find a way of making it all make sense, that's great too. Enjoy yourself. And if you love Legends and George Lucas era of Star Wars, again, that's great. So we have so much to choose from right now. We don't need to bash each other. That's how I feel. Oh my God. Okay, so drunk 3PO. My dude, look at this. If you watch this eventually, do you think we'll ever get a 3PO holding a beer action figure? If that is the case, if we ever get that Jay, I think he would like buy all of it. I think I would have Jay sign it too, because he's our drunk 3PO. Now, one of the black figures that is out right now for C3PO is him with the bandolier, with basically Chewie's bandolier and his bowcaster and all that, which to me is kind of off-putting because he's a protocol droid and that's against his configurations. However, with the story behind what's going on in episode 9 and how they're turning him evil so he can translate Sith, the Sith language, it goes right with that. When you go into the lore and in Legacy or Fate of the Jedi, when Vistera Kai and her father are talking in the other room on the ship with Luke and Ben Skywalker, and they record their conversation, they don't basically understand the language. However, they send it to R2D2 and C3PO, and C3PO just basically researches it and learns it to translate it. And then we also see that in True Set Bakura with the CC Rook. C3P and R2D2 study it and basically are able to learn it, and that's added to his data bank and translate for Leia and them. And to me, that's more believable. So yeah. Let me see here, the Sentinel. Okay, we're going to go over just a little tiny bit. Okay, and then we're going to call it a day so that we can all get on with our merry little lives. Okay, so O.G.Starwars. There are so many great 3.75 figures that are now hundreds of dollars on eBay. Regardless of those, the comic 2 packs were a great idea. Bring that back too. Yeah. I personally like in Disney canon between episode 4 and 5, Luke does a lot of saber training with various experts and methods. So what book is that, Alex Felix? Because the one that I like between, okay, so that's between 4 and 5. So that's between A New Hope and Empire. Okay, is that Heir to the Jedi? Because I know that book was coming out right in the acquisition of Disney. So when you read that, we still have a hint of our Legends Luke in there, even though they switched up a little bit to match their canon. And what I was thinking about in a book in Legends, it's Shadows of the Empire, but that's between Empire and Return of the Jedi. Yeah, their lore is completely different. And so they're going to take whatever is, unique and valuable in Legends. And again, like I say, and this is just my perspective, turn it on its head to fit what they want for their lore. And it's very discerning. And I don't care for it, but hey, there's nothing I can do about it. So I just stay in Legends and enjoy that. Did Palpatine ever train Vader? It seems like he just set him on errands. With the rule of two, and I don't, in a way, I think Palpatine kind of broke that rule of 2 in a sense, and he, but they never fully trained their apprentice. But like we've seen with Plagueis and Palpatine, I think all that Anakin knows, or Vader knows, is what Anakin had learned and stuff, but he is the chosen one. Again, not a Mary Sue, but he is the chosen one, so everything came to him a lot easier when it came to learning and stuff. Wasn't his lightsaber skills and the Force development addressed in Shadows of the Empire? Yes, they were. Basically, he has a journal that Ben left him, and also how to construct his own lightsaber. And so we get all of that, and we get to see him training on Tatooine, and it's just a good story. And the Audible is great as well. I think it's abridged though. I don't think it's the whole book. I have to look back on that. But like I said, I recommend Audibles. And if they're abridged, then I say read the story first, read the novel first, because there'll be some vital information that's not going to be in there. But if it's unabridged, like the Thrawn trilogy, have at it. I would say like a lot of it has a lot of like John Williams music in there, a lot of Star Wars sound effects. I mean, it's just awesome how they do that. Okay, Alex, bye. We're getting ready to leave here. Fatal J, I'm going to go ahead and read these last few comments and then we're going to call it a day. If they make a Fatal J's OG Star Wars, if they make a Fatal J OG Star Wars, would buy it. A Fatal J Black Series. Let's see here. You're a Jedi in the Order. What color would your lightsaber be? I like the purple. The second one is green, but I like the purple. I like Jaina Solo's Fatal J action figure, and I would have you sign it. Yes, Fatal, I would have you sign it and add it to my collection. Now, Fatal, question for you: would you be a Jedi or a Sith, or would you be a pilot? What would you be? You know, I'm putting you out there now, so answer in the comments. Okay. The Sentinel. All right. O.G.Starwars. He is taught the Sith philosophy firsthand by Palpatine. Yes. In Dark Lord. Yeah, he has. I did a small review on it. I try to do my reviews where it gives you some things to look forward to, but I don't reveal a lot of it. Yeah. But then he also has that conflicting thing of like, is Palpatine holding me back because I don't think I'm learning what I need to learn from him? You know, so we see that conflict, that push and pull of Anakin still being there, yet he's trying to cast him aside so he can fully be Vader. There you go. Okay, Fatal J. Vader didn't need to show off his force powers because all the Jedi were gone. Yeah, in a sense, you know, he used them to intimidate people like we've seen when he force choked in A New Hope. Okay. Hello, my friend. How you doing? So imagine if they had Tag and Bink's figure. Bink figure. I would still buy that. You would be a Sith. Okay. Okay. So cool. Awesome. So what type of you would not I'm pretty sure you would not do a Kylo Ren type lightsaber, would you? Or would you, what kind of saber would you refer, like the hilt or something? What would you do with that? I know I'm trying to end here and I'm asking all kinds of questions still because I don't know how to shut up right now because I'm tired. All right. I would carry a Viridian blade. Okay. All right, Sentinel, you guys, you have a good day here. All right, you guys. So thank you so much for hanging out with me with this coffee chat. And, you know, I will be done with finals Monday, so I will have a lot more lore videos coming up. Like I said, I was basically on vacation with family down in San Diego and then now studying and doing finals this week. So I only did a little bit and I did cover a review of Mandalorian, my compare and contrast. That's what my reviews are all about when it comes to Disney is I compare and contrast them to the original lore. And that does get some people's pants in a bunch or panties in a bunch, but I don't care because the original lore is basically what established Star Wars, and that's including the EU. And so when they start turning that shit on its head, you know, it just, I don't know. I'm at a loss for words of that because it's just sad. It's taking your myth, your culture, your pop culture, and saying this isn't relevant anymore. And so I'm sharing what, you know, all the good that was there compared to what is being produced now. And there are some things I see that's really good too as well. And I will say, hey, this was pretty cool for Disney to do this with their Star Wars. And there's some things I'm like, no, thank you. All right. So, hey, Abu, how you doing? Peace out. I was just telling them that we'll be doing a review this Saturday, right? Revenge of the Sith. And so I'm preparing for that, getting all the cross-reference materials for books that people can read that can lead up to that, all that. So I'll be doing my part. And see you on the next stream. Yes. All right. So thank you, Abu, for jumping in here last minute. Hopefully you'll be able to rewatch this, review this, and leave some comments and everything. Thank you guys so much for coming in. You guys all have a great day. We're still on. Yes, I know we're still on. Oh yeah, we're still on. I've only had like 4 hours of sleep, Abu. I was on Rosetta's live stream until like almost 2 in the morning last night. There's about 5 or 6 of us, and we were just having a great time. So you guys all take care. Again, Monday, see me on author Steven's live stream. I'm doing an interview with him. Wednesday, shenanigans, and Saturday on Abu Nas reviewing Revenge of the Sith. All right. Have a good day. May the force be with you guys.